Well, happy Thursday, everyone. It is so good to see all of you. This is JoJo Bennington, and I am just happy to have you here for our Empowering Healthy Women little 30-minute check-in that we get to have every Thursday night. And so I hope everybody had such an incredible holiday weekend. And we roll out of one holiday weekend into another. And so right now, on the in-between, a lot of us are kind of doing a reset. Maybe ate too much, had a little bit of overindulgence on the holiday, and so just to reset ourselves in the middle before we roll into New Year's. So hopefully everybody's feeling great. I am cleansing today, so I am cold and sitting in front of my heater with my hot tea. So hope everyone's doing great now. So tell me, how many of you have been following along on the daily Taebo on 2017 duties journals a little bit? Anybody been doing those every day? So we have been on, everybody's on the Facebook page, right? Yes. So every day I've just been posting up a little bit of a Taebo on 2017 and giving little steps to do to help rejuvenate ourselves and be able to get ourselves rejuvenated, clear out 2017, take a really good look at where it was, and a little bit of what we talked about last week on how to really tie a bow on it, and then to take at least 15 minutes every day, 15 whole minutes for ourselves, minimum, to sit in silence, to observe, to write, to clear things out, to analyze what happened in 2017. And so all of them are posted on the page if you want to go back and catch up. So we started doing them last Friday. So we had our call on Thursday, and then Friday we started doing little daily exercises. So I've hashtagged all of them in the page, which will still work. With 7 days to go, altogether 6 days to go, 5 days to go, 9 days to go. So at that point, I believe we had 10 days to go. And so there's something for every single day. But the one that I want to talk about specifically was the post from yesterday and the day before, which was our 6 days to go and our 5 days to go. And both of those days were really about taking a look at where we, and without judgment and without negative self-talk, but where we have maybe in 2017 dropped the ball on ourselves, or maybe didn't follow through with something that we said we were going to do, or didn't hold to our word, or let ourselves down in some way, or let someone else down. And there's lots of different ways that it could be looked at. And it's not to be done with negative eyes, but what it's to be done in the spirit of analyzing habits that we currently have in place, that we can forgive and potentially move forward into 2008 without them hanging onto our back, without feeling bad about them, without, and so I know that was, I've had a couple of people reach out and tell me that was a harder exercise, because I can forgive you, and I can forgive hubby, and I can forgive the kids, and I can forgive everybody else, but when it comes to forgiving me, that was the toughest part. And so does anybody find that forgiving themselves is the hardest piece of this? Yeah. Laura, I'm going to just have you unmute if you want to share. I know you've had a little bit of experience feeling about this. So can you share with the girls how you're feeling and what you're thinking? Let's see. I can unmute you. Oh, there you go. I think you got it. Okay.
Well, so you're talking about forgiveness, and so for me, I think the hardest thing is how hard I am on myself, and letting go of judging myself in a way that limits where I stretch myself to. So I'm good for supporting the entire world but myself. And um, so this year has really been about focusing on what for me is has come up that's a barrier and that's a boulder in my path, and to let it go. And that's not so easy. It's easier to say than to do. I think the first and hardest part is to discover what that actually is in the root level. I guess that's so.
No, that's good. Thank you for sharing. And it's so common. How does everybody realize that we probably forgive others easily than we forgive ourselves? So it's not just Laura, it's not just me, right? We're all in that together. And so really to be able to sit and do sort of a plan, do review of 2017. This is what I plan to do. This is what I actually did. And where I fell short, or so we looked at the celebrations first, because we always want to celebrate our wins. And then it's okay to go back and look at the places where we can adjust, and really to forgive ourselves that we dropped the ball on ourselves. It's not selfish. And even if it is, and if it sounds a little selfish and it feels a little selfish, just that word alone sometimes gives us a negative connotation. But can we be selfish and still serve others? Can we take time for ourselves to rejuvenate and put our fuzzy slippers on and drink our tea and hang out with the girls for a half hour and feel a little selfish with that? We can do that, right? And a lot of times that's the place. It's a big place where we drop the ball on ourselves because we don't take that time to rejuvenate. So again, we're back to filling others from an empty cup. And when we can step back and forgive ourselves for what we would consider falling short or not following through, it's okay, because we're not perfection, right? We're just progress. And progress every single day is what makes the difference for us. We know that when we're standing still, are we going backwards, or are we staying still? We're not moving forward. Are we going forward, or are we going backward? Are we staying still? Can you just stay still ever? It's either forward or backwards. If you're not moving forward, you're going backward. That makes sense, right? So sometimes we get so stuck in that thought of negative self-talk that it holds us back because we feel like we can't move forward. We feel bad. We hold on to that. We negative self-talk. I am ourselves to death. I'm so stupid. I can't believe I did that. How could I not make the phone call I said I was going to do? Can't believe I ate that extra piece of pie when I said I was going to not do that to myself today. So whatever those things are. And we know that over 2017, we all had these big, huge goals. And some we hit and some we didn't hit. And it's okay. Here's our plan to review, forgive ourselves for what we hit, and reestablish where we're moving in the future. And so today, what I had asked you to do, if you looked at the piece for today, was to really start to write our vision. So in forgiving ourselves over the last couple of days and really taking a look at where we dropped, right? So first we celebrated, then we looked at others and celebrated. So over the holidays, we looked at others to find the good, sit in silence and just look and find the good in people. Look and find the good. And sometimes in a family celebration or at Christmas and everybody's talking too loud and screaming at each other and who knows what, when we get into the family situation, sometimes it's hard to just see the good. So just to lift the vibration and lift the love And then we went from that into taking a look at where our 2017 was, and today starting to look at 2018 and writing our top 3 goals. And we talked about really doing bite-sized goals, whether it's daily, weekly, monthly, but no more than quarterly right now, and detailing them like a butterfly wing. So if we're going to think of what a butterfly wing looks like, how detailed are they? And so the questions were, when you achieve this goal, so if you see yourself as already achieving it, who's there with you? Where are you? What are you wearing? What does it smell like? What does it look like? What are you hearing? What are you holding? Maybe you're holding an award. Maybe you're hearing applause. Maybe somebody's hugging you. Maybe somebody's taking your picture. So when you can detail all of those things out, who is there with you to support you? Who is hollering? Who's standing next to you? Who's walking across stage with you? Who, I don't care. What do you want to do? What's your goal? Who's sitting next to you? Is it Oprah? Is it Brene Brown? That's who it would be in my vision, right? My butterfly wing includes Brene Brown. Cool. And when we can really sit and feel that, I mean, if you start to write that out, you feel that. When I sat and looked from, and you know what we do a lot of times is we look at, like we're watching a picture, we're watching a movie, and we see it unfolding. And so what I want you to do is step on the other side of that and look through your eyes as if you're looking out. So instead of seeing yourself, see it as if you're standing there looking out of your eyes, because that puts you in the space. Because we don't watch ourselves when we're doing something, right? We don't stand on the outside and watch ourselves like we're in a movie. But when we think of ourselves and we think of our goal, a lot of times that's what we do, is we look at it happening from an outsider's perspective, looking at ourselves. And so what I want you to do is switch that around and look at it out of your eyes as if you see it. Who's in front of you? If you look down, whose hand is in yours? If you touch somebody, look at it as if your hand is touching them. Don't watch the movie, just watch your hand. Because in real life, like if I'm standing outside, I can't see my face. All I can see is my hand, right? It's a totally different perspective. Does that feel different to think about that? Cool. Katya? Oh, you're just saying hi? Hi.
Just saying hi to Alicia.
Oh, she's here. She's hanging out with us. Good to have her here. Good to see you. So really into look at that forgiveness piece, and then to start to, once you feel clear from that, and you will start to feel clear if you write it out and you analyze that. Know that we're not perfect, but we're progress. Moving forward, even if it's baby steps. Begin to paint that vision, because today we're going to paint our butterfly wings. Tomorrow we're going to get even deeper and further. But up till now, look at all the things that we've done just to appreciate 2017 and the people that are around us. Did anybody do any of the gratitude calls and offer gratitude to? Yeah? How did that feel? Want to share?
Felt good. And I placed one to someone who totally did not expect it.
Oh.
So I still have one on my list for a person where you mentioned, also reach out to those where the gratitude comes from a different view of a lesson learned because of them. So it's not all rosy and peachy. It's going to be a little bit different. So that conversation is still coming.
That's great.
Yep.
And does that feel like the harder conversation?
in my story, it feels harder. Yeah.
If you say so. Right?
I'm writing that story over and over until it doesn't feel harder. So.
Okay. So, and to come of it from thinking of the objective. What's the outcome you desire from that conversation? And come from that space. Because sometimes, especially when it's a harder conversation, we write that whole story about it's going to go a different way. But we can write out any objective that we want. We can see it ending in any desired outcome we choose. Write that story. So future pace it into really positive outcome. Weird. Awesome. Anybody else do some gratitudes to somebody? It's so funny. We get so caught up in text messaging and private messaging and sending out gratitudes to everybody, and that feels like we're doing that. But then when you actually have to pick up the phone and have a real conversation, or face to face have a real gratitude conversation, it gets a little harder. Laura?
So for me, I think where I really reached a different, I don't want to say I think that I always express gratitude because that's just has been my focus for a long time. But I think to not overlook the simple jobs that people, well, I don't think they're simple, like your gardener or somebody who goes out of their way to do something nice and helpful, to really express a thank you that normally I would say, oh, it looks really beautiful, or thank you so much for helping me, but really to just point out what their skill is, as well as, that it was really nice if they did something for me. And, it's not always doing something for me, but it's being thoughtful in their words, or, taking the extra time to be mindful of how I feel. I feel grateful for people who are like that, so I think that's what I'd like to spread. When somebody just says, oh God, you just made my day, it makes you feel fantastic. So I feel that it's the same thing when you acknowledge people and yourself. I'm grateful for things in my home. I do a gratitude list all the time. And I think part of that list is about saying I'm thankful for my house. I'm thankful for my health. I'm thankful for my yard that I can sit in. I'm thankful for, just acknowledging things that I'm thankful I can pay some of my bills, not all of them yet. So I think just that kind of gratitude is what, for me, has become stronger, more focused. That's all.
It's good. And thank you for sharing. One of the days was to go deeper in your gratitude and to look for, so if you have food on your table, it's not just I'm grateful that this food is here. I'm grateful that I was able to pay for this food, but how did the food get there? Who farmed it? Who brought it? Who sold it? Who, just like my shoes, my house, who built it? Who hammered the nails? Where'd the boards come from? So really to be able to look deeper into gratitude than just surface. And sometimes we go, I really want a new house. I just hate this house. This house is too small for us. We get caught in those, or I hate my car because my car isn't big enough, or it's not the right color, or whatever. But to really find the gratitude in the thing that we own, the thing that we have, the thing that's already in our world, be grateful for that. And when we're grateful for that, the things that we desire come with ease. We fight against it and we feel negative towards the things that we already have. Typically the universe gives us more of that. Right? So if we're grateful, then the universe is going to give us something that we continue to feel grateful for. That's how I see it anyway. Lacey, I'd love to have you chime in at any point if you feel like it. Let me unmute you.
I got it.
Oh, you're good.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, no, I am enjoying all of the shares and conversation, and it's ringing true to a course I just took through Agape, which is a spiritual center in Los Angeles. And I actually, yeah, there's some Agape fans up here. I'm actually going to the retreat this weekend.
Nice.
So I just took the prayer warrior class, and we did. It's such a good one. Laura's on my vibe. She gets it. So it was really diving into gratitude and doing these practices and just hearing it reiterated on this call. I'm like, I'm in the right tribe. I like it. So I'm grateful to be here.
Yay. Well, good. Glad you're here. And
Yeah,
I'm a little
thanks for
jealous.
talking to
I'm a
you.
little jealous. Yeah. Michael Beckwith is one of my guys for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
He's a
listen
jam.
to him often. So for sure. Wish I was closer so I could be there more often.
Oh, me too.
Thank you for sharing.
They have a spiritual center in Las Vegas.
Where?
Not Michael Beckwith.
Oh.
I'll get you the
Okay.
address and send it to you.
Okay. That's a deal.
There you go.
Nice.
I think it's the one where Mike Gallegos goes to as well.
Oh, nice.
I'll
Okay.
send it to you. There's a couple.
Perfect. So we have a couple days left before we head into 2018. So gratitude for what's behind, gratitude for what's to come. Paint the vision clearly, and remember to include the how. And I know a lot of times we overlook the how because we go, the how's not our deal, right? But it was so interesting the other day. I was having a mentoring call with one of my new coaches, and he said to me, when you look at your vision board, do you have the how on there, or do you just have the what at the end? And I said, well, trip and I have the what at the end. I had the goal. And he said, please don't exclude the step in between, which is the meetings that are full of people, the classes that are packed with students, those things that are the how that get you there. And so please don't leave that out. And even though you don't have to say, how am I going to get them there? And who are these people? The point is that they're there, and we don't leave that step out. We include that step of having that huge tribe of people lifting us and supporting us through whatever what that goal is, that the majority of the time our goals are surrounded by something that we can look at that how, right? So for us, it would be a packed meeting, or it would be, for me, an entire retreat full of women, or whatever that is. And so not to leave that how out. So it's kind of a different thought process, because we always get taught, don't worry about the how. And I'm not worried about that, but to include that in my vision has been a shift for me. So just to share that with you. And
but Jojo, I think it's exactly how you said. It's important to have that step, but then not to focus on the worry of how am I going to get those people, where do I find those people, or how am I going to get a big enough room for this, but just to see that stepping stone along the way, so that what at the end becomes more attainable too, and looks more real. Absolutely. You don't have that empty space from, okay, I'm here now and this is my what at the end, but I'm not looking at the little stepping stones. And like we talked about before too, to celebrate, to have something on your vision board that you can celebrate along the way before you get to the big what at the end.
That's awesome. Thank you. Somebody said to me yesterday that if you can see your path, you're not going in the right direction. I was like, wow, what an interesting thought, that if you are out of your comfort zone, that you are seeing the steps, step by step by step. Rarely ever will we see it all laid out in front of us all at once. Just kind of an interesting thought. A little push out of the comfort zone, right? But I wanted to share this with you before we go tonight. We had a call with a woman that's in my space who I care deeply for. She's a very powerful shaman and works a lot with earth and water and trees, and she's just very spiritual as far as universe and nature goes. And this was something that she gave to us as we were going through the current transition with the winter solstice. And I just felt that it spoke so much to us moving from 2017 into 2018 that I would carry it forward so we could use this. And I will post it up in the group, but I want you guys to hear it. It's called She Let Go. She let go without a thought or a word. She let go. She let go of the fear. She let go of the judgments. She let go of the confluence of opinions swarming around her head. She let go of the committee of indecision within her. She let go of all of the right reasons, wholly and completely, without hesitation or worry. She just let go. She didn't ask anyone for advice. She didn't read a book on how to let go. She didn't search the scriptures. She just let go. She let go of all of the memories that held her back. She let go of all of the anxiety that kept her from moving forward. She let go of the planning and all of the calculations and how to do it just right. She didn't promise to let go. She didn't journal about it. She didn't write the projected date in her day timer. She made no public announcement and put no ad in the paper. She didn't check the weather report or read her daily horoscope. She just let go. She didn't analyze whether she should let go. She didn't call her friends to discuss the matter. She didn't do a 5-step spiritual mind retreat. She didn't call prayer line. She didn't utter one word. She just let go. No one was around when it happened. There was no applause or congratulations. No one thanked her or praised her. No one noticed a thing. Like a leaf falling from a tree, she just let go. There was no effort. There was no struggle. It wasn't good and it wasn't bad. It was what it was, and it is just that. In the space of letting go, she let it all be. A small smile came over her face. A light breeze blew through her hair, and the sun and moon shone forevermore. Good, yeah, loved that. Happy New Year, everybody.
I love it. It's absolutely my favorite. Thank you for posting it.
Thanks, Kelly. Happy New Year, everyone. Love you. Kisses.
Thank you, JoJo.
Hi, Risha. Say hi to my
Thank
girl.
you. I will. She
Thank you.